Hello. Before we start today's episode, if you would like a condensed version of what I'm talking about in this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to the Perfectionist Guide. You can read the entire thing in 3 minutes or less. To access this, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/newsletter. Are you a bit of a perfectionist, type A, hyper performer? Then you know that having the audacity to see an ideal and bring it into reality while breaking generational habits of hustle can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on rewiring perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired. We are going to open up your eyes. One of the biggest lies in this industry, doing human design by default, homogenizing your human design. I'm just so tired of seeing people being duped. Human design is the science of differentiation, taking anything that is a generalization of this is how projectors are, this is what manigens do, or this is how my sacral authority is supposed to sound like. Human design is about you and your own experience. It's not about reading things in a book and getting qualified at different levels. Human design is the coolest because it gives us an oddly specific map to our own energetic circuitry. So for you to be taking generic advice that you read on Instagram or hear on a podcast or learn in a course, all that you're doing is you're trading one set of conditioning for another. Give yourself the dignity of your own personalized human design experience. Like, it's human design, yo. It is not human default. This is why you can be human design level 1010 and still be chaotically conditioned AF. Ask me how I know. And from a leadership perspective, this is my 5 talking. It's not okay for anyone who is in a leadership role to be encouraging you to be accepting generalizations as your truth, because that is not your truth. It does not take into account your lived experience. It does not take into account your nervous system. Like, there are so many things. And I can tell you that the breakthrough that happened for me, and what happens when you are a private one-on-one coaching client, is when you say, fuck the rules. Here, I'll give you an example, because I know that that's really helpful for you. So I am a sacral generator, pure generator. I don't have a defined throat. And for generators, the way that they say your sacral should be expressed is by saying, That's the traditional human design doctrine. What I found is that saying or that actually activates my not self. That brings in the conditioning. So when I'm grounded into my sacral and I'm making like yes or no decisions, the way that answers come up for me is I nod or shake my head. Like, my body is my pendulum, which when you think about my definition, that makes sense. I've said that, throughout my human design training, when they're like, I'm like, that's not the way my sacral works. That is the beauty that happens when you stop doing human design by default. When you decide you're going to use human design for what it is. Human design, gene keys, Enneagram, astrology, whatever flavor you fancy, they are the doors. They are never the destination. They are doors that are here to take you on a rocket ship to your galactic inner wisdom and the stratosphere of your soul essence. By the way, if this is your first episode, welcome to the Unfuckwithable You movement. Your energy is sacred and it is precious, and it deserves to be given the reverence and respect and investment. Human design by default looks like, here are some tells for you. If you are believing that you need at least 24 hours to make a decision because you're an emotional authority, Wrong. You guys are getting all the sacral sounds today. Instead, distinctive human design, which is uniquely tailored to you, is when you figure out how your unique emotional waves flow, and then crafting your distinct, delicious decision-making doctrine. If you don't know what that is, that's something that I do with my private one-on-one coaching clients, regardless of whether or not they have a defined emotional center. We work with your inner authority and all of these other really, really cool areas of your energetics, your subconscious, unconscious, and bring in the neuroscience and neuroplasticity so you have a unfuckwithable decision-making doctrine. Another way that human design by default shows up is if you are believing stereotypes about your energy type. One that I see a lot is that you are believing that because you are a projector, that means that you have low energy and you cannot work for long, sustainable amounts of time. I will also bring that out to the manifestors. Like, you believe that if you don't have a defined sacral, that you are lethargic. And distinctive human design is when we actually look at your defined energy centers and how it flows. Just because you're a generator doesn't mean that you have more energy than a non-sacral being. Just because someone's tall doesn't mean that they are a pro basketball player. I just want to let you know that, like, when you give yourself the dignity of a precision perspective and coach and guide that is personalized to you, these are some of the miracles that you get to experience. You get to hear your divine downloads, and you actually get to connect with the spirit guides, intuitives. You're able to do that. You trust your intuition 24/7. Also, just preview of coming attractions. The next episode is about how you can't half-ass your inner authority. So if you're not subscribed to Unfuckwithable You yet, hit subscribe, because that one is going to break the internet and for sure your brain. Like, my clients, they're exiting stale careers, they're dissolving misaligned relationships and businesses, and they are doing work that feels like so much fun because you are actually absolutely adoring every second of it. Not all of my clients are entrepreneurs or running their own business. A lot of them are in corporate, like very, very structured environments. Like, one of my clients, we were able to track her emotional wave and make it so that she's actually able to come in on a different day than when other people's normally work, because they're not going to get as much out of her on those days. All that your employer wants is results and the value that you bring. By you knowing yourself at this intimate level, by you mastering your energetics and becoming coherent, it goes into every nook and cranny of your life. This is why there is an application process to work with me, because this is not just I'm going to get some fun results and they go away. No, this is a transformation in your lineage, generational change, and it flows and ripples out into every nook and cranny of your life. You just can't help it. I speak from my own experience. I will never, ever just tell you things that I read about in a book. Just because you are undefined or open in your emotional solar plexus doesn't mean that you need to be a walking wet blanket. It's actually a gift, and you can learn how to have energetic boundaries, so it doesn't matter what energy field you're in. You keep the temperature and the vibe up in your own atmosphere. So if you are already familiar with Human Designer Gene Keys, find it compelling and confusing as fuck, and you want to go from great to fucking amazing and really be investing your energy to its fullest potential, use this as the doorway that it is to really be taking it to the next level, then, like, I am here to help you. I will make sense of it for you in a fiercely empowering and playfully practical way. We will get to know who you are underneath all of the labels, and you will know exactly how to invest your energy to its ferociously fullest potential. You know, I started to use human design as a power tool in my one-on-one private coaching, because instead of spending 6 months trying to get to what someone's shadow is, we can do that work in 5 minutes, and it's completely cleared up. If you noticed in this episode that Holy cannoli, holy wow. I read you like a menu. If you're nodding your head yes, listen closely because I might have the solution you've been searching for. My Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, a 6-week, highly individualized one-on-one coaching experience designed exclusively for perfectionists like you. Your perfectionism is actually your greatest asset, and leveraging it can be hard work or take years of guesswork. That's why in Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, I give you my key frameworks to taking charge of your Ferrari drive, proven to work even for the most type A, high-strung, stubborn perfectionists. In the first 30 days, you will cut your burnout in half. Increase your professional fulfillment by at least 150%, and your self-compassion will go up at least 250%. And that is just your first 30 days. So if you want to save yourself years of trial and error, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/accelerator today. Or if you want to take the easy way, just click the link in the show notes to check out the Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator.